Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, so good to see you here. Starting with Suman Kukriti Mataji on the Zoom, Sonal
Hare Krishna
Mataji here.
Mataji, Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
We
everyone.
have fresh faces. We are seeing fresh, new faces, not fresh. All faces are fresh here. So Suman is there joining us after a little break. Then Garima Mataji is out under the sky, and Janu Jithani Mataji is also there. Khyati Mataji,
Hare
awesome,
Krishna.
very good. Hare Krishna, Janki. And Mayank is connecting to the audio. Awesome. And then on Facebook, we have Dilip Bhai Patel Prabhu, as usual, very prompt. He's almost like waiting for the broadcast to happen and he jumps on the broadcast. That's an awesome thing. Very, very good. Thank you so much, Prabhu, for that. And so, should we get started? What do you say? Yes or yes?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Okay, so I think I should start recording this here also. And how do I start recording it? Why does it not show me the record? Okay, it's already recording. Okay, that's very good. I don't know. I don't remember. Varshana Mataji joining us from Pune in India. Welcome to the call. So we will start as usual with our Vigyapti Panchaka prayers. And Archana Mataji, welcome to the call here. And Hare Krishna. So I will start sharing the screen now. And if you can confirm that you can see the Vigyapti Panchaka prayers, which were there a little while ago. Okay, can you see those?
Yes.
All right, okay.
Yes, Mataji.
Awesome. So we'll do the Sanskrit. I'll do the Sanskrit first and then we will read. So after I finish the Sanskrit, maybe we'll just do a quick roll call here to determine the reading order. And Khyati Mataji, if you don't have Suyas Paru, will you do us the honors of deciding the reading order today? And Khyati Mataji, I don't know whether you're on mute or how is it going? Ooh.
Yeah, she's back, Mataji. I think she just stepped away for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I just went to call my Prabhu from the other side.
There you go. You got an action item. staying away from the class. Yeah. So, Kathy, if you can work on the reading order today.
Yes, sure. I can do that. Yes. No problem.
Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Matsamo nasti papatma na paradhi cha kaschana parihare pilajjame kim bhruve purushottama yuvatinam yatha yuni yunam cha yuvato yatha manobhi ramate tadvan mano me ramatam tvayi bhumau स्खलितपादानां भूमिरेवावलम्बनं त्वयि जातापराधानां त्वमेवा शरणं प्रभु गोविन्दा वल्लभे राधे प्रार्थये त्वामहं सदा तदीयं मतिजानातु गोविन्दा मां त्वया सह Radhe Vrindavanadhishe Karunamritavahini Kripaya Nijapadabja Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. Okay, so we are now ready to read. And Khyati Mataji, if you can let us know the reading order.
Yeah, I think she has put on the chat. So
On the chat?
Sonal
Okay.
Mataji will go first.
Okay, can you read it while you're on the chat? Can you read it, Suman, for us?
Yes, Sonal Mataji, then Suman Mataji, Mayank Prabhu, Janki Mataji, Garima Mataji, Varshana Mataji, Neeral Prabhu, Khyati Mataji, and Shraddha Mataji.
All right. Okay, so let's get started here.
Sorry, Mataji, I had problem in unmuting myself. Yeah, so whosoever comes, I'm going to put it between Varshana Mataji and my Prabhu so that for you it would be constant, that after me it would be your turn.
I will be there. Okay, thank you so much. But either way, it's fine. Yeah, me. All right, yeah, let's go.
Till 9th chapter, right? You want me to share, Mataji, 9th chapter?
No, I wanted you to do the translations first of the Vigyapti Panchaka.
Oh, yes. Huh.
Yeah.
So,
O Purushottama, no sinner or offender is as bad as I am. How can I describe my shame? Just as the minds of young ladies take pleasure in a young man and the minds of young men take pleasure in a young woman, kindly let my mind take pleasure in you alone.
Just as the ground is the only support for those whose feet have slipped, you alone are the only shelter for those who have offended you.
O Srimati Radharani, beloved of Lord Govinda, this is my request. May you and Lord Govinda consider me one of your assistants.
Sorry, I'm just trying to zoom. Hold on. Oh, Purushottama, is that the one?
The last one.
O Srimati Radharani, O Queen of Vrindavana, you are a river flowing with the nectar of mercy. Please be kind to me and give me a little service at your lotus feet.
All righty. Reflection. Quick 1 minute round of reflections.
Karuna.
Give me little service unto your lotus feet.
Give me little service at your lotus feet. Okay. What else?
Let my mind take pleasure in only you, alone you.
Okay, wants the mind to be focused only on Krishna and take pleasure. Not only focus, it should be a pleasurable focus. Okay. What else? Anybody else got some words from there? Okay, those of you who are on Facebook, you can share your reflections by typing it onto the Facebook, and welcome Mantramurti Mataji and Bhagyashri Mataji. So happy to have you here. And Bipin Dinwal Prabhu, yes, thank you so much. And yes, hope God will take care of Vrindavan and India based on the comments you wrote there. Okay, so coming up next is, if there are no more comments, then coming up next is reading from the chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And which chapter is it?
9th chapter.
9th chapter, our favorite chapter, number 9. So that chapter number 9 coming up on a screen near you. So if you can confirm that you can see it.
Yes.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, and who is going to go into this chapter 9?
Me.
Okay.
Chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Text 1. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, My dear Arjuna, because you are never envious of me, I shall impart to you this most confidential knowledge and realization, knowing which you shall be relieved of the miseries of material existence. Text 2. The knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secret. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perception of the self by realization, it is the perfection of religion. It is everlasting, and it is joyfully performed. Hare Krishna.
Text 3. Those who are not faithful in this devotional service cannot attain me. O conqueror of enemies. Therefore, they return to the path of birth and death in this material world. Text 4. By me, in my unmanifested form, this entire universe is pervaded. All beings are in me, but I am not in them. Hare Krishna.
Sudevi Mataji, you can read.
And yet everything that is created does not rest in me. Behold my mystic opulence. Although I am the maintainer of all living entities, and although I am everywhere, I am not a part of this cosmic manifestation, for myself is the very source of creation. Understand that as the mighty wind blowing everywhere rests always in the sky, all created beings rest in me.
Text 7. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature, and at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. The whole cosmic order is under me. Under my will, it is automatically manifested again and again, and under my will, it is annihilated at the end.
O Dhananjaya, all these work cannot bind me. I am ever detached from all these material activities, seated as though neutral. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created and annihilated again and again. Mataji, your turn.
Thank you. Fools deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not know my transcendental nature as the supreme lord of all that be. Those who are thus bewildered are attracted by demonic and atheistic views. In that deluded condition, their hopes for liberation, their fruitive activities, and their culture of knowledge are all defeated.
O son of Pritha, those who are not deluded, the great souls, are under the protection of the divine nature. They are fully engaged in devotional service because they know me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, original and inexhaustible. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion.
Others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship the Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in the universal form. But it is I who am the ritual, I the sacrifice, the offering to the ancestors, the healing herb, the transcendental chant. I am the butter and the fire and the offering.
I am the father of this universe, the mother, the support, and the grandsire. I am the object of knowledge, the purifier, and the syllable Om. I am also the Rig, the Sam, and the Yajur Vedas. I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the adobe, the refuge, and the most dear friend. I am the creation and the annihilation, the basis of everything, the resting place and the eternal seed.
Text 19. O Arjuna, I give heat and I withhold and send forth the rain. I am immorality and I am also death personified.
I am
Both spirit
immortality. I am immortality.
and mortality. And I am also death and personified. Both spirit and matter are in me. Those who study the Vedas and drink the Soma juice, seeking the heavenly planets, worship me indirectly. Purified of sinful reactions, they take birth on the pious heavenly planet of Indra, where they enjoy godly delights.
When they have thus enjoyed vast heavenly sense pleasure, and the result of their pious activities are exhausted, they return to this mortal planet again. Thus, those who seek sense enjoyment by adhering to the principles of the three Vedas achieve only repeated birth and death. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack, and I preserve what they have.
Varshana Mataji, your turn.
Yes, Mataji, 1 minute. Text number, Mataji? I lost
23.
23. Those who are devotees of other gods and who worship them with faith actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. I am the only enjoyer and master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down. Hare Krishna.
Those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship the ancestors go to the ancestors. Those who worship ghosts and spirits will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it.
Text 27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. In this way, you will be freed from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me and this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me.
I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. Even if one commits the most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, and Shudras, workers, can attain the supreme destination.
How much more this is so of the righteous Brahmanas, the devotees, and the saintly kings. Therefore, having come to this temporary miserable world, engage in loving service unto me. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisances to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me.
Jai Hari Om Tat Sat. So we finished one chapter of Bhagavad Gita according to our shared reading schedule, so we can congratulate ourselves. And let's spend a few minutes on capturing some reflections. Those of you who are watching us on Facebook, which now includes Rima Patel Mataji, Madan Ahluwalia Rajaprabhu, and Sangeeta Srinivasan. Yeah, welcome to the call. And you can post your reflections on Facebook. There might be a little delay in my picking it up because you're a little few minutes behind. Okay, so let's get going.
Hare Krishna Mataji. One who renders service unto my lotus feet in devotion is a friend to me, and I'm also a friend to them. So this gives a real assurance.
Yes.
One thing is at the very beginning, Krishna says that this knowledge is very confidential. And even though I always give this example when trying to talk about Bhagavad Gita, that even though it is so publicly available, but very few people sincerely read it. Very confidential knowledge.
Yes, yes. It's an open secret.
It's an open secret.
Right? It's out there on internet, on every shelf. Yeah. Thank you so much for pointing that out, man.
Yeah, I think related to that point, Krishna says, right, the fool deride me when I descend in the human form. They do not understand my transcendental nature. So those who understand the transcendental nature can understand the confidentiality and knowledge behind it. So
yes, it's revealed to them because of their devotional service. Yeah. What else? There were 34.
If one offers me with love a fruit, flower, leaf, or water, I will accept it.
You'll accept it.
Really
Yeah. Yeah. He makes it so simple, right? And you can also mentally offer him things.
And Mataji, my favorite verse is Man Mana Man Matyaji Mam Namaskaru Mam Eveshyasi Yuktevam Atmanam Mat Parayana. Hare Krishna.
Last week you fumbled and this week you practiced and you brought it up. Very good. Yes, I have to tell you that, Varshan and I go back a long way. I think it's more than 6, 7 years that we have been reading Bhagavad Gita together several times, like on these type of calls. And
Yes.
when she first used to do Sanskrit, she used to read Sanskrit in a Punjabi accent. Yeah, but this now you see, right? Imperceptible changes happen. You don't even know. Slowly it happens. You don't even know when the Punjabi accent got detached, and then the pure accent got attached to it. Yeah. And then this is a classic example of how, if you are at it, if you keep at it all the time, then the results are there for everyone to see. Yeah. So thank you, Vashana.
Mataji,
Thank you so much.
going back to the verse what my Prabhu was saying, right? Gaur Gopal Das Prabhu, when they were visiting, when he was visiting over here and he gave a lecture at Mayapur Vihari Prabhu's home, at that time he discussed this exclusively, and he said that how we can offer fruit. So offer the fruit of our action to Krishna. How
Yes. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, then he said like how we can offer water, so that's the tears that come when we perform the joyfully service to Krishna. So I can see that in Varshana Mataji's eyes right now.
No,
These are tears of joy. Yeah.
And then patram, right? So what patra, earlier they used to write all the scriptures on the leaf, right? So that knowledge of leaf is the corresponding version of that. So so patram,
nice.
pushpam,
Phalam toyam.
Phalam and toyam.
phalam and
Fruits and water.
yeah,
Very nice. And that he's a genius.
yeah,
Yeah,
how
he's
he
always
comes up
thinking
with
about such fantastic things. Yeah.
What did he tell about the flower?
um, so I need to remember what he said about the flower. I could
Dayal Bal Prabhu.
yes, I think Mayapur at that time.
I missed that one. I went to when he had come to Sri Kumar Prabhu's home.
Okay.
And it was a very separate meeting. It was more on fundraising and things like that, which I do. So
Yeah. I think I will go back to the notes, Mataji, and I will
Yes.
let you know.
The importance of taking notes.
Yeah, sure, Mataji.
I
Thank you.
think at that time, Govinda Priya Mataji or someone had taken like a exclusive notes and they had shared. So
Or know the resources who take notes. Devotees who take notes.
Yeah. So you see the importance of documentation also, isn't it?
Do share, Mataji, if you have them.
yes, I will share, Mataji. I have to go back and see if my Google Drive uploaded that or not. But I'm just blanking out. I will remember because I have often thought about this. Otherwise, I don't have very good memory. Sometimes certain things that touch my heart stays in my mind, but I often blank out. So
But a lot of things touch your heart, Kathy. I mean, most of the time you come out with the real good realizations.
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
Mataji, it is all mercy of the devotee association. I'm not qualified.
Yeah. So
That
yeah,
is your
there's a little bit on the Facebook also. If can I read it? Some reflections from the Facebook. Okay. So we have we've had few more people join us. Hemlata Mataji is there. Sarika Suvarna Gopika Mataji, Danvat Pradam. And then we have a reflection from Raja Prabhu. He says you should be offering it if you offer things with the proper sentiment, then Krishna will accept it. So that's a very important point as well. And then Rima Patel Mataji says that with love we can offer leaf, fruit, water. The same verse that your favorite verse, Varshana Mataji. There. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your reflections. And Chaitanya Priya Mataji, thank you for joining us here. Yeah, back to Zoom and tell us more. Any more reflections, or are you just raring to go and read the documents that Kati Mataji circulated?
So devotional service is everlasting and it's joyfully performed.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you found everlasting in your life?
Krishna's transcendental nature.
Krishna's nature, yes. It's a handful of things that we find are
Soul.
soul is everlasting, yes. Straight from second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Yeah.
Desires are also everlasting. You keep on desiring. But what you desire is more, what you desire is more important. You can desire to have success in Krishna consciousness, right? But the feeling of desiring something never goes away.
Yes, so you have to direct your desires in the right direction, right? Because we cannot. Soul has to desire. Soul will desire. Like mind has to think. Soul will desire, and artificially trying to suppress desires won't go away. So from these, so this is Bhagavad Gita. These are nice verses. And so, are there any particular verses that you looked at? I mean, you haven't reading. All of you haven't read the Bhagavad Gita. It's not the first time that you're reading it. So, have you? Was there any verse that you said that, okay, this is a verse I'm going to pick up and I'm going to apply that in my life?
सुख दुखे समे कृत्वा लाभा लाभो जया जयो ततो युद्धा युजस्व नेवं पाप
And please expand on that. It's a very good, very powerful
I think
verse. Yes.
how to be stable between honor and dishonor, right? Between fame and infamy, between success and failure. So I tried like telling my friends about Bhagavatam set yesterday, and it didn't go that well. And then I was feeling disappointed, and then it reminded me of Ramanand Sakha Prabhu. I think going back to San Jose temple, when you and Ramanand Sakha Prabhu were having conversation, that Guru Maharaj sets all these goals, and I'm like, my blood pressure is rising. That's what you were saying. And Ramanand Sakha Prabhu nicely said, Krishna will take care of it. And then I was remembering that pastimes that happened, and I was like, probably I'm getting overly attached. If it is Krishna's arrangement, I should pray to Krishna that their mind should change, and at any time they will realize the importance of Bhagavatam. So
they will realize the importance of that, and also the importance of prayers. Like Vaisheshika Prabhu says that when he started first on distributing a different, like he was distributing Bhagavad Gita, and then he started, I think Bhagavatam, I don't remember the book, but it was something different, something new that he was doing, and it was a huge goal in front of him that he had to distribute. And he said, I just put the books in my room on a table, and I prayed to the books. I prayed to the books, and I said that, can you please be distributed? Yeah. So and also if while you are preaching like this and you're trying to give transcendental literature to people, you will come across all kinds of devotees. Some are ripe and some are raw. So the raw ones will not take it, and that's okay. But your job is still done, because through your conversation you reminded them of Krishna, and maybe they might have uttered a few times the word Krishna, or maybe not, but at least went through the ears, and it'll go into the heart, and at the right time the fruit will mature. Yeah. And it happened. But Krishna always sends people your way. You'll be surprised. And then Krishna also, while we keep on endeavoring, and we should never stop endeavoring, we should keep on endeavoring. But Krishna is a little bit of a drama. He likes to do drama, so he'll drop it at the last moment.
Yeah, so I opened Bhagavad Gita and the shlok came.
This one came. See, yeah, so he's understanding that. I have to tell you that there was one year where we were, we had a big goal to collect Lakshmi for distributing books and Bhagavatam sets and all that. And we had set an internal goal of $200,000. It was inside, to collect for Prabhupada's marathon. And we could not. It was we were at 195 or something like that, $195,000. Or even less. No, it was some $187. So, and it was just the last day of the marathon. So I had my team meeting on Thursday night, like I usually have. And we said, okay, this is where we are. And we didn't meet our goal, but that's okay. Despite so many odds, and we had lots of difficulties that year, said, okay, despite all this, we have done it. Right? We have done it, whatever. We've given it our best. And this is what was Krishna's plan, Krishna's idea, and that's fine. So tomorrow, so we have to write an email to declare to our book distribution leaders that, this much we have, collected for the Prabhupada marathon. And so meeting over, I went to sleep, and I said, okay, next day morning, I will come and, write that email. So when I came and sat at my computer to write the email, so obviously I would go to the email to write the email, and then I see an email that comes up there. And so somebody has said that I would like to stay anonymous, but I'm donating $25,000. So I was just completely floored. Like I had no idea that how from 187 you add 25, we smashed our goals. I immediately called an emergency meeting of my team. All of them were at work because it was a Friday. All of them were at work, and they were like, I don't know what happened. I said, you know what, we made it. like that. So Krishna is a little bit of a dramatist, Kathy. He does things towards the end, but you should be working hard all the time, like that. So even when you see the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, right? He gets pushed off a cliff, and then he starts to fall down. So as soon as he's pushed off the cliff, it's not that he will come in the form of a big giant man and then catch him like that. No, he will fall and fall and fall and fall and fall, and as soon as he's about to hit the ground and smash his head, then he will stop. Then Krishna will come and help, because what he's doing, and the acharyas say, is that why he does this way is that he's testing you and testing your faith all along your fall, like that.
Can I say something, Shraddha Mataji? Oh.
Yes, Sonal Mataji,
Yeah.
I'd love to hear.
So I got a call from Malini Mataji about the BVT marathon, and
I heard about that. Please tell us the story.
and she said, "Oh, we are trying to tell everyone to at least do 2 sets." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, 2 sets is a tall order." And then I thought of all the teachers in my school, and I said, "Okay, a couple of them have bought things before, like Gita, Bhagavad Gita, and stuff." So I just made a round of calls, and in a couple of hours, I was able to do 2 SP sets.
Yes, and
Oh
say
my
congratulations. Yes. And she announced that in the morning call, by the way, Sonal Mati.
Oh,
You were
I
not
didn't
tuned
know.
in. Yeah, that's how I came to know. I was just wondering
Okay.
who told me that. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It happens. You need to have that faith and a house on fire desire. For anything, you should have a house on fire desire.
But I do have to say that only one of them really wants the set. The other said that I could just sponsor it. So
That's fine.
it's hard to convince them to take the set. It's like,
Yes, that's fine. Good. Thank you for sponsoring.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kathy said that what is the teachings from here that she has applied in her life? That labha labho jaya jayo, don't think about that. Yeah. And yeah. What about others? Did anyone of you? Is Arjun trying to tell us something?
So Mataji, in this there is a verse where Krishna says that whatever you lack, I will give it, and whatever you have, I will preserve.
Yeah.
So that's a very give confidence in life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, true, especially in these days. Yeah. Good words. Yeah. Anybody else like to share what words they use?
Is Mayank still there? I'll put Mayank on spot. So there is a verse which is Veet Rag Bhaya Krodha, right? Mayank, can you complete for me?
Vita Raga Bhaya Krodha. I repeated.
So you can give us the essence, the what you like about it.
Let me open it up, Mataji.
And while you're opening it, I have got some verses coming up from the internet. So I will just, you take your time, Suman, no hurry here. So Chaitanya Priya Prabhu is sharing.
Right?
Just one second. Oh,
I got it, Mataji. So Veet Rag Bhaya Krodha Man Maya Mam Upashrita Bhavo Jnana Tapasa Puta Mad Bhavam Agata.
Tell us the meaning.
So being freed from attachment, fear and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
Wow. So which part of it are you applying in your life?
I think you have to apply the whole of it, right? Because that is the essence of the verse.
Okay, good.
That you need to get free from this. It's a cycle, right? I mean, there is a verse in chapter 2 which tells you how anger arises, right? So it's a cycle. It starts from attachment.
Yeah.
So I think here Krishna is trying to connect the dots and saying that, kind of repeating the same verse, but in a different form, that being freed from attachment, fear, and anger, being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me, and thus they all attained transcendental love for me. Yeah, so it's a process that he's talking about.
Yes, it is.
And the ultimate goal is that you develop love for Krishna.
There you go. Yeah, Prema Pumarto Mahan. That's our ultimate goal. Thank you for sharing. So I was saying that we got some reflections from the Facebook also. So first up, thank you, Shilpi Mataji, for joining us here on the call. Suman, our Shilpi is here. And so then, Kathy Mataji, here is some advice for you from Raja Prabhu on the Facebook. And he's saying that grace and blessings appear when needed the most. So, the day before the marathon, it's almost like an unseen hand that'll appear, and pour like
Just
that.
pray for that.
Yeah, yeah. And welcome, Arun. Welcome, Arun Begra Prabhu. And then Raja Prabhu is again saying that his favorite is chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, where, practice and working on the verse on remeditation. Oh, how to sit and how to focus between the eyes. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's good. And Rachna Punya Man Mataji, thank you for joining us. And Chaitanya Priya Mataji is saying that she really likes 11.38. So would somebody like to bring up the 11.28 words here? So that we can look at that. And she also likes 39. Wow, that's good. And welcome Sonia Pavaria Mataji.
And Mataji, this verse also Guru Maharaj Ji quotes in his lectures many. Yad karoshi yad ashnasi yad johoshi tatasi yad tapasyasi konteya tat kurushva mat arpanam.
And what does that mean?
Whatever you
but whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me.
Offering to me. Yeah. Wow. So Khyati Mataji, maybe the Bhagavatam set should become an offering for Krishna if you do that in that mood.
Yeah, that is a good suggestion. Thank you.
It will happen, Khyati.
Yeah, there you go. Now you got the blessings also.
Praying to books is something that it really is a good advice. So I will try to follow that.
You can pray to books, you can pray to verses.
Yes.
You can pray to any, that's what we do, right? Anybody gives us trouble, we pray. To them, like, please don't. These verses don't go away from my head like that. Yeah. Yeah.
And Mataji, can I say something on behalf of my Prabhu? He's not saying. But
yes, please.
Something that we always discuss is the Bhagavad Gita 2.62. Whenever we are like disturbed, we both think that what is the desire behind this, where we are stuck. So the 2.62 has like profound.
Coming up, 2.62, Suman is there bringing us verses today. Yes, and I think one of you alluded to that, right? In there.
Yeah,
someone had said, talked about that. Yeah, it's a couple of verses there, right?
Yeah. I like Mataji that Savai Pumso Parodha Bhakti Raso Adoksaji Yatma Prasiddhati.
Right. So now she's jumped from Bhagavad Gita to Bhagavatam and quoting a verse from there, right? And what does that mean in essence of that? What is the essence of that?
The supreme occupation of humanity is to do devotional service, and uninterrupted and unmotivated devotional service can only please the Atma soul.
There you go. And then Archana Singh Mataji there is quoting the verse which now when I tell you the verse number, you all will go like, yeah. She's quoting 18.66. What is 18.66? Very famous verse. Like Krishna says, abandon all varieties of religion.
Sarvadharma Patiyaje Mam Ekam Sharanam.
Sarvadharman Parityajya.
Ekam Sharanam.
Aham Tvam Sarvapape Mokshami Mam Shuchaha.
Suchaha, right? Do not doubt. Okay, good.
Abandon all the religions and come to me.
Very good. So
it is to pick one verse, Mataji.
Say that again.
How difficult it is to pick one verse. Thank you that we have so many devotees on the call.
Yeah, so and they're sharing, and this is what is known as Matchitta Matgata Prana, Bodhayantas Parasparam, Katayantas Mam Nityam, Tushyanti Ramantya. Right? So this is, we are relishing these. We could be sitting here and we could be doing share shairi also. But we won't do that. We do this. Yeah. So And then and so
Mataji,
Achha, just 1 second. And Achha Mataji
yeah.
is saying that she tries to follow this verse 18.69 in my life as surrendering our mind, our intelligence, and our ego. Very importantly, our ego to Krishna is very difficult thing to do. And actually, I'm forgetting the name. She was a Christian nun in France, and she was here. Oh, the only reason I remember her is that she was here on this planet Earth at the same time that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Bengal. So she was here in France, and she was saying that what makes it so what is it that makes it so difficult for us to follow the order of the Lord? What is it?
Ego.
Yes. And then I am. So what she said was that, she said that in trying to follow your order, my Lord, right? And in trying to follow your wishes, my Lord, I have to give up my own wishes. That I don't like. So God says, get up in the morning. I want to snuggle deeper into the comforter. God says, don't eat this. I want to eat that. God says, don't do this. I want to do that. So our desires are orthogonal to what Krishna's desires are. And ultimately, we should be aligning our lives so that, both of them are become parallel. Okay.
Very beautifully said, Mataji.
Yes, she's none, so obviously. That's what I was saying, that, contemporary of Lord Chaitanya. Yeah. Yes. So, Kathy, did you distribute the goodies?
Mataji, you're talking about the link, right?
Yes. If you have more goodies, we will take them.
Actually, I should ask all the devotees for their birth dates and document that so that we celebrate birthdays.
Okay. So we can we'll create a form, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. We'll do that. And I'll just give you access to that form. You can copy it and create another one. And I know you're an expert at doing that. We did that for IDC. Remember, Kathy?
Yes.
Yeah.
All thanks to your mercy, Mataji.
No, Shiva's Pandit Prabhu's mercy. Yeah. Okay. So, well, should I bring it up? I also need to get the goodie. Okay. All right. I think I have it. Should I share? Are we ready to see what we're going to talk about today? Yes or no? No? Yes? Okay, so how come I don't see it? These things give me trouble all the time. Okay, here it is, different color. Can you see the law of karma?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, do you like the topic?
Yes.
All right, so let's see. Okay, so reading order, who goes in next?
I think I read, so I think it's Suman, Mataji.
Suman is there?
Yeah.
I don't see Suman. Okay.
I think Suman just walked. She got an important call, so
okay.
she might be back.
Okay. Yeah. She can rejoin later on. Who comes next after Suman?
I think I only come, Mataji. So I can.
Okay, good.
So from the very beginning, two children are born at the same time on the same day. The parent of the first is wealthy and was anxiously awaited the arrival of their firstborn for years. Their child, a boy, is bright, healthy, and attractive, with a future full of promise. Surely destiny has smiled upon him. The second child enters into an entirely different world. He is born to a mother who was abandoned while pregnant. In her poverty, she feels little enthusiasm to rear her sickly new offering. The road ahead is fraught with difficulties and hardships, and to rise above them will not be easy. The world is full of disparities like these blatant inequalities that often provoke questions. How could Providence be so unfair? What did the parents do to have their son born blind? They are good people. Is God unkind? Next reader.
Why does one person enjoy while another suffers? The answers to such questions are crucial to all of us because they give us a direct clue on how we can become free from all future suffering. Krishna explains in the Bhagavad Gita, Karmano Hya api bod bod bodhyava. I'm sorry, I can't read this.
Bodhavyam. Bodhavyam.
Bodhyavya. Bodhyavya cha vikramana akar akarmanas cha bodhyavya gahana karmano gati. The intricacies of actions are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is. Karma means activities performed by the living entities conditioned by three modes of material nature.
Karma is a subtle force generated by the interaction amongst conscious living beings. The law of karma is similar to the scientific law of action and reaction observed in the physical system. By this subtle law, good or supportive actions lead to correspondingly positive reactions. Exploitative or violent acts force the actor to undergo equivalent troubles. Religious scriptures generally promote compassion and sensitivity to our neighbors, both human and non human. When a person ignores the concept of non injury to others, called ahimsa, or the biblical command, thou shalt not kill, by unnecessary killing innocent living beings, he must suffer the result at some point in the future. And when millions do so, collective karma inevitably leads to macroscopic catastrophes such as wars, urban violence, and new diseases.
Hare Krishna. Karma is the law of cause and effect. There is a reaction of everything we do. If we throw a coin up, it will come down. If we regularly put money in the bank, our wealth will accumulate. If we drink alcohol, we will suffer the hangover later. These are natural laws of cause and effect.
Is it who goes after Vikramati?
There are some facilities given to the human beings, but does that mean that we have a free license to engage in whimsical activities? We human beings are accountable for everything we think, speak, and do. Therefore, we must be aware of the consequences of the activities we perform. The law of karma is not applicable to the animals because they do not possess a higher sense of discrimination between right and wrong. Their intelligence is limited to the activities of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. However, human beings are gifted with a sense of discrimination and a higher intelligence to inquire into the purpose of life and the root cause of suffering. Thus, the law of karma is completely binding upon the human beings.
There are three kinds of karma. Punya karma, activities done according to the laws of nature and as per scriptural injunctions. Performance of punya karma gives pious and good reactions.
Vikarma, whimsical activities done without any regard to the laws of nature and against the scriptural directions. Performance of vikarma gives sinful reactions. Pradhamataji.
Oh, good. Who complete the 3 bullets?
Okay. Akarma, activities for which one doesn't suffer any reactions. These are activities without bondage.
The good and bad karma, punya karma and vikarma. If my body is nicely formed, intelligent, healthy, and born in aristocratic or rich circumstances with good opportunities for education, it is understood that I have acted piously in my previous life. If I have a body that is ugly, deformed, diseased, unintelligent, or born in poverty and ignorance, without facility for improvement, I must have acted sinfully in the past. I may want to live in a big house, but I may not deserve a human body. In the appropriate body of a rat, however, I will be allowed to live in the big house and consider it my own.
Karma is like a bank account of credits and debits. Just as one's bank account determines whether one will get what one wants, the soul's karmic account determines whether he will get what he wants in life. Good karma is like a credit in the account, and bad karma a debit.
For example, if someone is very charitable towards educational institutions, in his next life, he may be very wealthy and receive an excellent education. On the other hand, if one kills a living being, he or she will suffer the same fate in the next life. As long as the soul is involved in good and or bad activities, he will continually reincarnate in various species of life according to the laws of karma. At the time of death, the plans of the soul are stored within the mind, subtle matter, and by the help of higher order natural laws involving karma, the soul gets the facility to give these plans shape in his next life in a suitable bodily form. The numerous biological forms at various levels of consciousness are therefore present in nature only to accommodate the different desires of the soul. Good karma and bad karma do not cancel each other. One must suffer all bad karma and enjoy all one's good karma.
Akarma refers to spiritual activity performed on behalf of or for pleasing the Supreme Lord that does not have any material reaction. Punya, good karma, and spiritual activity, akarma, are not the same. Punya, good karma, is material activity pertaining to the material body. By performing this, one can get promoted to a better material situation within the material world, but one cannot go beyond it. Just like in the case of a prisoner who may be transferred from a C class prison to a A class prison cell with more facilities, but who is not allowed to leave the prison.
A karma or devotional service to the Lord, however, being fully spiritual, has nothing to do with this material world. It is not meant for material promotion, but it is meant to transfer us to the spiritual world, beyond the cycle of birth and death. Akarma is thus beyond both karma and vikarma. To free oneself from the bondage of this material nature, one should perform a karma, that is, work without reactions. Lord Sri Krishna explains this very vividly in the Bhagavad Gita 3.9.
Yagn
Do you want me to read? Yeah, go ahead.
यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणो न्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्म बन्धना तद अर्थम कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्त संग समाचरा. Work done as a sacrifice for Vishnu has to be performed. Otherwise, work causes bondage in this material world. Therefore, O son of Kunti, perform your prescribed duty for his satisfaction, and in that way you will always remain free from bondage. When a country goes to war, if a soldier kills many enemy many enemy soldiers, the government award the soldier with prestigious award. However, if the same soldier comes back, pick up a fight with someone and kills him, the same government punish the soldier for killing one person who was earlier awarded for killing many. This is because in the battlefield the soldier was acting on behalf of the government, and so the soldier was not liable. In the battlefield the soldier was not liable, but when he killed a person for his personal reason, the soldier was held accountable. Similarly, when we perform a karma by acting on behalf of the Supreme Lord under his direction or the direction of bona fide representative of Krishna, then there are no reactions to such actions.
Some examples of akarmic activities are chanting the holy names of Hare Krishna, performing bhakti or act of loving devotional service in association of others following the path of bhakti yoga. By performing a karma, one develops devotion for the Lord, detachment from bad association, purity, and spiritual happiness. A karma liberates one from the cycle of birth and death and takes one back to the spiritual world. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so let's continue reading forward with Sri Namamrita. Who goes next?
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Sri Namamrita. Lord Chaitanya introduced the Sankirtana Yajna for the deliverance of all men in this age of Kali. Lord Krishna to Arjuna. In the beginning of creation, the Lord of all creations sent forth generations of men and demigods, along with sacrifices for Vishnu, and blessed them by saying, Be thou happy by this yagya or sacrifice, because its performance will bestow upon you all desirable things.
The Lord created this material world for the conditioned souls to learn how to perform yagyas, sacrifice for the satisfaction of Vishnu, so that while in the material world, they can live very comfortably without anxiety. Then, after finishing the present material body, they can enter into the kingdom of God. That is the whole program for the conditioned soul. By performance of yagya, the conditioned soul gradually becomes Krishna conscious, becomes godly in all respects. In this age of Kali, Sankirtan Yagya, that's the chanting of the names of God, is recommended by Vedic scriptures, and this transcendental system was introduced by Lord Chaitanya for the deliverance of all men in this age. Sankirtan Yagya and Krishna consciousness go well together. Lord Krishna in his devotional form, as Lord Chaitanya, is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam as follows, with special reference to the Sankirtan Yagya.
Krishna Varnam Tvisha Krishnam Sango Panagras Sango Panagastraha Parsadam Yagna Hi Sankirtana Prayer Yagnanti Hi Sumedha
Sumedasha.
Sumedasha. Yeah, thank you. In the age of Kali, people who are endowed with sufficient intelligence will worship the Lord, who is accompanied by his associate by performance of Sankirtan Yagya. Srimad Bhagavatam 11th Canto 5th chapter 32 verse.
Other yagyas prescribed in the Vedic literatures are not easy to perform in this age of Kali, but the Sankirtan yagya is easy and sublime for all purposes. Continuing on about sharing, and that sharing is a sense, sharing is caring. So what's the assignment? Somebody can continue.
Read a chapter from Srila Prabhupada's book and share something that you like with a friend of yours who does not know anything about Krishna consciousness. Share your experience with this group.
Yes, and try to give them a book.
Yeah.
Okay, continue. Next person.
Sorry, sharing is the highest welfare activity. One who is beyond duality and doubt, whose mind is engaged within, who is always busy working for the welfare of all sentient beings, and who is free from all sins, achieves liberation in the Supreme. Only a person who is fully in Krishna consciousness can be said to be engaged in welfare work for all living entities. When a person is actually in the knowledge that Krishna is the fountainhead of everything, then when he acts in that spirit, he acts for everyone. The sufferings of humanity are due to forgetfulness of Krishna as the supreme enjoyer, the supreme proprietor, and the supreme friend. Therefore, to act to revive this consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. One cannot be engaged in first class welfare work without being liberated in the Supreme. A Krishna conscious person has no doubt about the supremacy of Krishna. He has no doubt because he is completely freed from all sins. This is the state of divine love.
A person engaged only in ministering to the physical welfare of human society cannot factually help anyone. Temporary relief of the external body and the mind is not satisfactory. The real cause of one's difficulties in the hard struggle for life may be found in one's forgetfulness of his relationship with the Supreme Lord. When a man is fully conscious of his relationship with Krishna, he is actually a liberated soul, although he may be in the material tabernacle.
I like the word tabernacle. What is tabernacle?
It's a tie, I think people wear tie. It's
tabernacle is a tabernacle. Tabernacle is a temple that moves.
Yeah.
It's a mobile temple.
A meeting place for worship used by some Protestants or Mormons.
Yeah. So it moves, it's not stationary. So similarly here, our body is being called as a, our body is also called as a tabernacle. Why is our body called a tabernacle?
Because it is a temple of the God. The super soul resides in our heart.
Super soul resides in that heart, right? And then here he's saying that, okay, you may be in a material tabernacle because the temple in which it is residing, right, it's made of material body. So here, one word that came to my mind that caught my attention was this. Anybody would like to read this statement that I've highlighted on the screen here?
Therefore, to act to revive the consciousness within the entire human society is the highest welfare work. To act to revive the consciousness within.
Yeah. So what does the phrase revive the consciousness tell you? How is it, how do you think it is promising sentence?
That everyone has Krishna consciousness within the heart and we just have to revive it.
Very good. Yes. It's not something that you have to get from outside. Nitya Siddha Krishna Prema Sadhyo Kabhinoy Shravanadi Shuddha Chitte Koriya Uday. So this is something that is already there. It's only through Shravanadi, Shravan, Kirtanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Padasevyam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, all those 9 processes. Through one of those, all that you have to do is you have to just get it revived. Right? So that's the good news. It's not something that you don't have. You just have to revive it. Okay. So then let's go to the main chapter. And anything that comes to your mind from what the addendums that we read, Namamrita, sharing and all that, before we go into karma?
I like Mataji, the place where it is written that those who are without any sins, they never doubt whether I'm.
Tesham antagatam papam punya jana karmanam te dvandamoha nirmukta bhajante mam dridhavrita. Right? Yeah, those who are full of sins, they will never doubt that there is God. Yeah. What else? And welcome Mukta Mataji and Mukesh Prabhu for joining our call there on Facebook. If you have any reflections, post them there. Yeah, go ahead, Khati Mataji.
I like the description where it said Krishna is the fountainhead of everything.
Yeah, what does that mean?
I think fountainhead means the source where everything comes, right?
Right. So when you see a fountain, yeah.
Like Garbhodayini Vishnu, where from his pore entire universe, like so many universe just emerges. So.
Yes, and that Vishnu is called as Mahavishnu or Karano Dakshayi Vishnu, right? And so from his pores of his body, various universes come out. And within the universe, there is again another Vishnu there, which is the Garbhodakshayi Vishnu. And from his navel sprouts a lotus, and on the stems of the lotus are our planetary systems are lodged there. Simplistically stating, yeah, good. What else?
I really like that. You see, one lady gets a child who is very, and he has a good future. I mean, it's already written there. And one lady is getting a child, while she was pregnant and she had to, she was abandoned by her husband and the child is born. And I really liked the 4.17. The intercases of action are very hard to understand.
Yeah, akarmanascha abodhavyam. Actually, I'm just tempted to, bring up this verse here. And let's go into that because, So we have to there's a word karma and there's a word karma, right? That's how we have been pronouncing. So we have, whatever way you pronounce Hindi, karma and karma, but we have to understand that there is a difference, right? Between karma and karma. What do you think is the difference between karma and karma?
Karma is the activity which you do. What is the fate you have written for yourself by doing the karma kand?
Mm-hmm.
No?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's partially right, but some mixture of some terminologies might not be very accurate. But yeah, you started very simply, which is that and good that thank you for attempting that, and being brave to do that. And so karma is simple. Whatever you're doing, any action that you're doing is karma, right? And then depending on what type of action that you're doing, you'll get some reactions to that, right? And that is known as karma. Good karma, he has got good karma, he's got bad karma. What does it mean? That he has got some good reactions in store for him and some bad reactions in store for him, like that. So that is karma.
Is action, and karma is a fruit of that action.
Exactly right. Yes, fruit which is waiting to happen. Okay, so some more of this verse somebody wants to read.
So Mataji, what is karya then?
Karya is just the language. It's karma, action. Whatever you're doing, work. Synonyms. So who wants to read 417?
I think
Hare
it was,
Krishna.
yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. It was, I think, my turn.
Go ahead.
Karma means activities. Should I be saying karma? Karma means activities.
No, give us the Sanskrit. 417. Am I sharing this 417 with you all? Is it sharing properly or no?
No, I'm seeing the beginning of 6.
Oh, you're seeing the beginning of 6. No, sorry about that. I should share it properly. I thought I changed the screen that I was sharing. I did not. Sorry. Okay, here you go.
कर्मणो हि अपि बोधव्यं च विकर्मणः अकर्मणश्च बोधव्यं गहना कर्मणो गतिः.
Very good. And what does it say?
The intricacies of action are very hard to understand. Therefore, one should know properly what action is, what forbidden action is, and what inaction is.
Let's read the purport. Somebody else might want to try.
I can read, Mataji. If one is serious about liberation from material bondage, one has to understand the distinctions between action, inaction, and unauthorized actions. One has to apply oneself to such an analysis of action, reaction, and perverted actions because it is a very difficult subject matter. To understand Krishna consciousness and action according to its modes, one has to learn one's relationship with the Supreme. That is, one who has learned perfectly knows that every living entity is an eternal servitor of the Lord, and that consequently one has to act in Krishna consciousness. The entire Bhagavad Gita is directed towards this conclusion. Any other conclusion against this consciousness and its attendant actions are vikarmas or prohibited actions. To understand all this, one has to associate with authorities in Krishna consciousness and learn the secret from them. This is as good as learning from the Lord directly. Otherwise, even the most intelligent persons will be bewildered.
So, so why do you think Krishna says that it is very difficult? I mean, it appears very simple, right? From here.
Well, because I think Mataji, as you said, right, we get entangled in the word karma and karma. So if we don't understand that we don't have to associate the results of our work, people actually misinterpret Bhagavad Gita, right? They say that Bhagavad Gita is all about doing karma, which is correct, but it also says that don't accumulate the results of your karma, right? Don't get into the cycle of karma. You have the right to perform your action, but don't get entangled in the results. So that's why I think Krishna is saying that the intricacies of actions are very hard to understand, because sometimes you do not know why you are doing a particular karma.
Yeah.
And what your duty is.
Right. So very simply putting it, that you are saying that a little bit of a dirt comes into it because we are doing things and we are not dedicating it to Krishna. Yes. So if we dedicate that to Krishna, we get scot-free, right? Like Krishna got scot-free. He killed so many, but nothing, right? And there was an example also that was given that when a soldier goes to a war and he can kill thousands of people and he comes back and he's given a medal for killing. And the same one person now goes and murders somebody, then the same government is going to punish him by death. like that, right? So it depends on who you're working for. So that makes it all muddled up, right? So, but and then he said, but he's saying that there are intricacies involved, right? The intricacies of action, and are very hard to understand. So action and inaction is very, very simple. It's easily understood. But we have to understand one thing, and that is that um, uh, is there a noisy line there? Someone, yeah. If you're in a noisy environment, just mute your line because it breaks my thought process. Okay, so yes, about the intricacies of action um, and inaction. So do you think we can be punished for inaction? I mean, isn't it a safe thing not to do anything?
But Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that no one can even live for a moment without not performing any action, right?
A
Yeah,
good
in the
example.
verse Karmanya Vadi Karaste, Krishna says, right, that never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities and never be attached to not doing your duty. So sometimes inaction could be not doing your duty. So in that case, you cannot be free from this cycle, right? Like,
Yes, very right. And can you give me an example from the material world where we can be punished for inaction?
Shraddha ma, the thought that was Hare Krishna ma.
Hare Krishna, good to hear your voice.
So the thought that came to my mind was Bhishma Pitama did not do anything when Draupadi was getting disrobed. So that's inaction. So that's why he was punished for that.
Yes, straight from the scriptures. Yeah, straight from the scriptures. If you're not doing your duty, right? I remember once a photographer was, called to the courts because somebody was involved. Some big shot was involved in an accident, and he saw that accident, and then he went there and started taking pictures instead of dialing 911. So, so that's what I'm saying. That intricacies of actions are, to understand action, it's very, very intricate topic. Sometimes even not doing something that you can be punished, right? And and the more that we go, and that's why he's saying that try to develop the habit of doing everything for Krishna. Like the example they gave, the soldier was killing on behalf of his government, so you get scot-free, like that. And it is the intricacies of karma are like this, and it might be mind-boggling and very bewildering to understand how karma operates. And that's why most of the teachers that I've heard, they always say that I can only tell you it's very intricate. Some people say that if I do this and if I do that, what is going to happen to me in next life? And if somebody did this, why is this happening to me? Did I slap them in the last janam, or when did I slap? And I don't think I could have done that, like those kind of things, right? So we have to understand that we could get punished for all kinds of things that we did not even think, right? So for example, a person works in a glass factory, and in the glass factory he goes and manufactures a glass bottle, right? He manufactures different types of bottles, and then one of the bottle is used for storing alcohol, and somebody purchases that alcohol, gets drunk, and then he goes and is in an accident and he kills somebody. So who should be punished? In our material world, who would be punished? According to our laws, the laws here in the land. According to
the person who consumed the alcohol and the person who made the alcohol.
Right. So is the person who made the alcohol punished? What about the alcohol? By the laws of the land.
Just by the laws of the land, it's not. They are not punished.
Right? They're not punished, right? Because the seller will say that, I was selling it under permit. He had a permit. So, the government gave the permit. Okay, now, so maybe let's call the government to the bench, right? But here, the laws of material nature are much, much different than the ordinary laws that we have in our lives, right? So according to the laws of material nature, you will get some reaction, maybe not exactly the same, but you will get a reaction. Even the person who manufactured the bottle, he will be participating in a little bit of the karma. So it is very, very intricate. We just, we just don't even know that. And Krishna says in the 18th chapter of Bhagavad Gita that whenever you do anything, any work you do, and the example that he gives is, he gives the example of a fire. And he says that whenever you try to light a fire, there will always be some smoke, always be some smoke, right? And I always use that whenever I do some project uh, pertaining to Krishna, so it's a very good project, it's a very good thing, right? You're doing something for Krishna. But even in the process of trying to do that project, we might make some mistake, we might offend somebody, not do things and things like that. So there are, even while doing, things for Krishna, we might end up making some mistakes here and there, like that. And we talk about varnashram, and where we say that you do things according to your nature. Yes, you do things according to your nature, but then why are you doing it is the thing that will determine whether you're going to call that action that you do according to your varna as an action, as whether it is karma or whether it is akarma, right? Akarma is then it will not incur any reactions to that. Like, for example, we might look at a brahmana, and they say, like, brahmanas, oh, that's a cool varna to be in, right? Nothing, they don't incur anything. All they are doing is patan, yajan, right? But yajan, when you do yagyas, so okay, nowadays what yagyas do we have? The yagyas of this yuga are, they don't require a brahmana, because the yug dharma is sankirtan yagya. You chant your Hare Krishna mantra, that's it, that's your yagya, right? But in the previous yugas, if you go there were elaborate yagyas. Can you give me some example of yagyas from the previous millenniums?
Ashwamedha.
Ashwamedha yagya, right? So Ashwamedha yagya is there. And so just to give an example, and then there were other yagyas also that people would do, like Daksha would have, yagyas, he would perform yagyas all the time. And so these were yagyas done, and it was a king's job to do certain yagyas to obtain a certain result. Right? So straight away, when you're doing a yagya to obtain certain results, you're not doing it for Krishna. You're doing it to get some results. So this becomes karam kandi activity. So Varshana Mataji, when you were giving the example of karma and karma and karma, you had used the word karam kandi, right? So the karam kandi activities are when you do some activities when you're focused on the result. So doing things on the scripture looks very nice on the surface of it, but the inner motive is that I want something for myself. I want my citizens to be happy. I want the kingdom to increase. So I'm going to have Ashwamedh Yagya and things like that. But then the Ashwa, has to be killed as part of the Yagya, right? So you're killing somebody. So the Brahmana will get a piece of that for doing that activity. So that's why unless and until, so whatever yagyas that you're doing, you will incur some sin or some sin or the other thing. Like, for example, like you put a banana in the fire and you didn't know there was an insect inside the banana. So you get a little share of that karma also for killing it. And we don't know, right? We don't know what we are doing, and we are walking and we are stepping on ants like that. So it's a very normal thing for these kind of things to happen. And the only yagya that will not affect you is the yagya that the Brahmana is doing it for Vishnu. So if you offer everything that you're doing to Vishnu, then you are safe like that. Otherwise, no, right? Like that. So keep that in mind, that the varnas will also get that. I mean, Kshatriya, of course, Kshatriya, it's glaringly evident that they have to kill, right? So it's glaringly evident that there is there's a little bit of a smoke there that they are doing. And this was any karm kandi activities that, like I was saying, that there'll be smoke. And then the Srimad Bhagavatam, and I think I brought the story earlier also, Srimad Bhagavatam has a story of Nriga. So when Krishna and his playmates were out there in the fields, and like how kids are, they run in this direction, they run in that direction. So the kids were running, and so few of them strayed in one direction, and they came across a well. Now, whenever kids find a well in the field, what is it that they do? They start looking inside the well, right? So they start looking inside the well, and they're like, oh, there's a very big lizard was there inside the well. So they don't know what it is. So they go and running to Krishna and say that, Krishna, I've never found such a big lizard, come see. Then Krishna goes there, and somehow, with ropes or whatever, they manage to pull the lizard out of the well. And then, Krishna touches the lizard, and then the lizard gets converted into a very beautiful being. and he was King Nriga. So then the question is raised that, what happened here? Right? Why was this king in the body of a lizard, like that? So this King Nriga used to do a lot of donations. He would do a lot of donations, and he was doing it in the name of Krishna as well, right? And so he would give away thousands of cows, do a yagya, give away thousands of cows in donation, and so all that is fine. And so he gave a Brahmin, some number of cows, and the Brahmin walked away with his cows. And then this king was continuing to give cows to other Brahmins who were waiting. And then one of the cows from the first lot that he had given to the first Brahmana kind of wandered from her lot, and she came back into the king's, place where all the rest of the cows were, which were yet to be donated. And so king doesn't know that, right? So he redonated this cow. And after some time, the first Brahmana realized that, oh, one of my cows is missing. So he came back to the king and said, he asked around, and people say, oh, we saw your cow going in that direction. So he comes back and he knows that the cow has come back to the king's place. And so he says, I want my cow back. And then the king asks his subject, like, what happened? So when they dig deeper, they realize, oh, but your cow has already gone. So then they call the other Brahmana and they said that, you know what, can you please give this cow to the first Brahmana? He says, no, you have given this to me. I want to keep it. And then the first Brahman, the king says, okay, I'm going to give you another cow. The first Brahman says, no, I want that cow that you gave me first. So it goes on like that. And then the first Brahman gets angry and he curses him to become a lizard, like that. So even he was doing something like Godan, right? Even when you're doing something that looks like to be such a nice thing, but there can be some smoke that can be involved over there, right? But the good thing is that good thing is that he has to, because he was involving Krishna, right? He was doing the yagya for Krishna. So then Krishna, his Krishna is Krishna. So all this is also Krishna's plan to demonstrate that, okay, while you're doing devotional service to Krishna, if certain things go bad here and there, like if some Brahmana, confusion, all that, there's some smoke that comes, I will come and I will still, what was the verse that one of you said they liked, and forgetting, was it Varshana? Or I think Garima said that yoga shema vahamyaham, I carry what you lack and I preserve what you have. So Krishna said, oh, all right, fine, your devotional service was there to me, it'll get preserved. Yes, you go into the lizard body, but then, you will take part in this drama now, this Leela there, where Asama will go and find, this big lizard, and then he'll come running to me, and then I'll go and touch you, and then you'll become that, which will prove to people again that, better to do things for Krishna than try to do any other things, because even if things go wrong, Krishna is there to take care of you. Like Rakshishyati iti vishwas. So you should have faith that Krishna is really going to take care of that, right? So people do that things. Vaishyas, Kshatriyas can do that, like kings and all can get into a mess like that. Vaishyas, I mean, I don't have to say more about the Vaishyas because they're merchants. Merchants have to tell lies all the time. All the time they have to keep on telling lies, right? Otherwise, how will they make money? And how will they entice the clients, right? So if you go there and you say, I'm going to buy a sari, and then they will say, yes, sister, yes, Behenji, this sari actually, costs me 200 rupees. And because you're my sister, I'm going to give it to you at 200 rupees. Believe me, I'm telling you, I'm not making a single paisa in profit from this sale. He'll say that. Does he really mean it? No, right? He's just touching your heart. And you'll think, oh, wow, I'm a sister, he's my brother, he's doing the brotherly thing. No, most probably he cheated you the most, calling you a sister like that. So these people will kind of do that. And sometimes you have to save yourself. Sometimes you have to speak lies to save yourself. And there's a very interesting story about how someone, so there was a dog in the forest, and that dog was very slim and hadn't eaten nicely and things like that. So he was looking for some place where he could get some food, and so he found an old carcass, an old dead animal, and so he went there. He started eating a little bit from there. And then that close to that dead animal was a lion was sitting in his cave, and the lion was also very hungry. Now a lion doesn't eat leftovers, right? A lion always is the king of the forest. He always hunts fresh and he'll eat fresh. All the leftovers are eaten by jackals and dogs and those lower animals. So he was very happy to see the dog, and he said, okay, I'm going to come and eat the dog. So he's approaching towards the dog. And so what the dog does is that he's eating that dead animal, and as he's eating this animal, he sees that the lion is coming. So he says, oh, this lion that I killed, it's very, very tasty. So the other lion says, oh my goodness, this is a very powerful dog. He has already killed a lion, so I'm just going to run away from here. So he runs away. And then on the top of a tree there close by, a monkey was watching all this. And the monkey was, didn't like it. Like, how come this has happened? How come he got scot-free? So then what the monkey does is that he goes and he goes and follows the lion. And he goes and meets the lion and tells the lion that, you know what? This dog is just useless. He just spoke some lies like that. He has never done it. Like, just to save himself from death, he spoke the lies. So then the tiger gets very, very angry at that. He said, okay, I'm going to come back and I'm going to kill this dog. So he says to the monkey, come on, thank you so much for telling me that. Come climb on my back, and then I will carry you there, and then you watch me kill this dog. And so they come back, and now the dog sees the lion with the monkey on the back, and he knows, like, oh my goodness, now he's coming back again. But he's very smart. So he sees the lion. As soon as the lion comes within the earshot and can hear what he's saying, he says, I don't know what is taking so long for that monkey. That lion ran away and I sent the monkey after him to bring him back. And then he says, oh, okay, here they come. Okay, let me get ready to kill him. So the lion hears all that, and then he quickly runs away. And then, of course, he's very, very angry. So he eats the monkey like that. So sometimes, you have to speak lies to save your life. So karmana gahana, it's very, very difficult. Intricacies of karma are very, very difficult to see. And that's why they say that api chet suduracharo bhajte mam ananya bhak sadhur eva samantavya samyak vyavasito hisa. If you see somebody else, indulging in something that appears to be very, bad behavior, you never know why they are doing it. You might see an exalted devotee telling lies, but why did they tell lies? Because they wanted to preserve their body. Because they're thinking, I've got this human body, I want to use it in the service of the Lord, like that. So karmana gehna, they are very, very intricate. So better is, as much as possible, and that will be a practice, that will be an exercise for all of us to see how we can really get into the habit of doing things for Krishna. It's difficult, and you all had said that ego is very difficult to give up. And ahankara vimud atma kartaham iti manyate. Kartaham, I do everything, and for whom do? I do it for myself. So those are the things to keep in mind, like that. Otherwise, there's karmic reactions. You get suitable bodies to, suffer the karma there. Okay.
Shraddha Mataji, I had a question.
Jenny, go ahead.
So, when you said that the law of the land is different from the law of karma. Mm-hmm. So going back to the example where he gets cursed, the king gets cursed. What he did was not as bad. Like, his act was not wrong, but it is how the person perceived it, which was bad, right? Yeah. So a person may perceive it as 10 times worse than the offense. And so then when he curses you because he's hurt. But your act was not wrong. Your act was a good act, right? So where does the law of karma?
No. When you look at it, the law of karma is going by the law book. It says that if you have donated something to somebody, then you can't donate it twice. That's the law. They are right. Going after that law, right? So according to the law, the king did a wrong thing. Now, but the circumstances were, what are the circumstances that made him do that, right? Very different, right? Yeah.
He didn't do it knowingly.
Yes,
right?
He didn't knowing, but ignorance of the rule is no excuse. Even here they will tell you, right? Like if you come from India and you start driving on the wrong side of the road and you hit somebody, you can't say that I come from a country where the rule is like that and my reflexes are like that and things like that, they'll say, no, you should have stayed away from the road till your reflexes were set right. So yes,
Yeah.
that's how karma is. Yeah. Yeah. So if we have got a mountful of karma in our reserve, what do we do? How do we get rid of that? How do we set our track record straight? That's the question.
We pray to Krishna.
You pray
When
to,
we pray to Krishna, he gives you the easiest way to to pay off the debt.
exactly. To get rid of all that, easiest way, not only the easiest way to pay it off, he will even burn it. He will write it off for you. Karmani nirdahati kintu cha bhakti bhajam. So it's only through bhakti bhajam, to doing devotional service to the Lord, can our record be cleared.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
The Brahmana who refused to take the other cow, so he was not compassionate.
Yes.
For that also, they should get the reaction of.
There you go. You see how complicated this is getting now? One cow straight back. Yes. So one little action has got our actions have got a rippling effect. Has got a rippling effect. You throw one pebble into the pond, and the ripples are created, and they go and touch everything on the boundary. Right, like that, right? Some person in the family commits murder, and the rest of the family is put to shame. The life becomes bad for the family also, right? If the elder son does something or elder daughter does something wrong, then the youngers all have to suffer like that. If the father does something, then children suffer like that. So karma is difficult. But without understanding the law of karma, it's very difficult to digest whatever is happening in our life, right? I had a friend who had a child. Her first child was born blind. And she kept on saying that, she kept on trying to go back to during the days when she was carrying the child. And she would always say, I'm just trying to figure out, what did I eat that made the child go blind? What did I eat that the child is blind? What did I eat that the child was blind? It might be that, no, you didn't eat anything that would have made the child go blind. But then look back. You have to look back at previous, go a little back on the spectrum timeline and see, what did you do in your previous births to deserve this? And so when we understand this, the way karma operates, then whenever bad things happen to us, we know that we are the cause of it. Our mood is like that. We understand, and we say tattenu kampam susamiktamano bhunjana mevatma kritam vipapam. He says, I actually deserved worse, and that's how devotees think, that I deserved actually worse. And Lord, you are so merciful that you have made it a little less for me, because God can do that. He can reduce the sentence. So he does reduce it. And absolve you. Any last thoughts on karma?
Very, very tough to understand the karma theory.
Yes, yeah. So better, let Krishna handle it. Say, Krishna, I have got this whole pot of karma. But because we have taken so many lifetimes, and the Buddhist scriptures, Vrksa quotes that in one of the Buddhist scriptures, it says that if you were to line up your dead bodies, all the bodies that you have been through, if we line them up one on top of the other, we will reach the moon. So many lives we have gone, and so many lives, the karma, we have done good and bad karma. And then of course we also saw in this book over here, it said that the bad karma does not get absolved by doing some good karma. They don't, negate it, they don't balance out. You have to suffer the bad and you have to enjoy the good.
Hare Krishna Mataji, I was thinking in Buddhism, they don't recognize the soul separately from body, right?
There are so many flavors of Buddhism. There are so many flavors and so many variations. We just need to take a look at the essence without caring which Buddhist scripture is there and things like that. The essence is that we have taken so many lives, right? And there's so many variations. I mean, I grew up thinking that Buddhism means that you practice ahimsa, right? And I went to a Buddhist temple here in Fremont a few years ago, and they were They had set up stalls inside the temple and they were distributing beef. And I was shocked, that this is a Buddhist temple. They said, yeah, we allowed. We are Buddhist, we are allowed. So, you don't know how many scriptures are there, how many variations are there, what is not there. But yeah.
The main principles got diluted in the.
Yes. Main principle get diluted. And that's what Krishna also says in 4th chapter, right? He says that all the evam parampara praptam, you get it through the lineage, but then there are aberrations in the lineage. Sometimes it stops, and then people start interpreting it on their own. Then that's why he comes, right? That's why Krishna takes to set the documentation right. He comes here and incarnates like that.
One point, Mataji, about karma, I remember one analogy from Bhagavatam, 11th canto. So there it is said that it is like we are traveling in a river. Sometimes with the waves of the river we go down, and sometimes we come up. So going down is like, doing bad karma and going down to hellish planets, and then doing good karma and sometimes coming to heavenly planets. So we keep going up and down. So there is no point in like entangling even in good karma or bad karma. It is best to get out of the cycle of karma.
Absolutely right. And that's why they say Brahmande Brahmite Kaun Bhagyavan Jeev. Guru Krishna Pasade Pai Bhakti Lata Beach. Because what we're doing is we are loitering. Brahmite, we are loitering. Prabhupada translates as a loitering in this universe. Yeah, so very nice citation, Mayank Prabhu, on that. And then the very intelligent, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, when Narad Muni is explaining to his disciple Vyasdev, who's having trouble writing down, and he says that if you are actually intelligent, right, you're intelligent and you are a philosophically inclined person, then you should only endeavor for towards that goal, right, which is not obtainable even if you go all the way to Brahmaloka, right? And you can go all the way to the lowest planets. Upari Ada is the term that they use. All Apuri means above, and Ada means the down, lowest planets. You can go to the lowest planet, you can go to the highest planet, but whatever results you're going to get. What are you going to get in the highest planet? Birth, death, old age, and disease. What are you going to get in the lower planets? Birth, death, old age, and disease. The same thing, right? Right. So he's saying that, and why we try to go to the upper planetary system is we want to have happiness. We try to enjoy that sense gratification, and he's saying that don't go after happiness also. And why he says that? He says, when you get miseries, did you go after the miseries? No. So similarly, don't go after happiness, because whatever miseries and whatever happiness are ordained for you, you will get them. You're going to get them. So don't endeavor too much. That's why in the 12th chapter, he says, oh, don't do ugru karma, don't work overly. And then we understand that if it is in my karma, and I have done enough sufficient things to lead a better life, it'll automatically happen. Automatically, you cannot just do that, And sometimes it happens that for the sake of the devotees, a devotee of the Lord, Krishna will do amazing thing. For example, there was one lady here. She was a very pious lady and a devotee of. So she said that she was having terrible visa problems here. She had to leave, and she had parents to take care for India. She needed money and all that kind of stuff. And then she says suddenly the law for the country changed. So it's not that your little thing will be organized, will be done. Krishna will, in one big sweep, he's like, okay, the law of the country has changed, like that. So only Krishna can adjust it. And these are what we call as windfall. Windfall happened to me. Well, no such thing as windfall. It was like, it's not that something just fell like that. It was organized. It was there. Hard for you.
And I think when Krishna says, right, from me comes the remembrance and forgetfulness, that actually really fits into this law of karma, right? We think we are the controller, but at time on that moment we'll forget something, and then we'll do something that is either can save us or can
exactly
change the direction, right?
Exactly.
So,
you will do it is so yes. And then this was the question for tomorrow morning's Bhagavad Gita class. I had asked you where is lust in the right, like that. Yes. And why we are forced to do that, why we sometimes forced to. Yes, it is because it was destined. It was destined to happen to us, and we'll do something silly, or we'll do something very majestic and be pushed wherever destiny is to carry us. And as As Man Prabhu was saying, that waves will carry us, you'll be get carried on a wave or you'll sink down. Yeah. So like that. Yeah. Good. And Chaitanya Priyadasi is also here. Okay, very good. Very good. I saw your picture now. You did speak up before. Any last thoughts? Any last comments here? Let me see how it is. I didn't look at the Facebook. I kind of ignored them for some time, but unintentionally. Yeah. I don't see any comments over there. Yeah.
I think, Mataji, even if we recognize that it is karma, right? The only thing we can do is, as you said, pray to Krishna, and Krishna has put you in this situation so that you can learn something out of it. That mode, when you associate with devotees who are doing this again and again, really helps you in recognizing.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. What else?
I like Mataji, the word you describe Krishna as dramatic. So nice.
Yeah, he does drama always. What else is Rami there?
Mataji, our life itself is a drama, you see. We keep on doing karmas. We don't even know what will be the reactions from from our side. We try and do the best, but we really don't know. The intricacies of karma are very difficult to understand.
Yeah. So better not to rake our brains on that, right, Khyati?
Yeah. So it is better to just serve Krishna, do our duty, and sleep peacefully.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Okay, I'm just trying to look here. My screen is frozen, so I'm just trying to see that. Okay, Soni Mataji joined us. Okay. So there's a question here that, if somebody's not very, somebody's not very into Krishna consciousness, what words from Bhagavad Gita do you think you will give to just gently, nudge them towards Krishna consciousness? You want to think about it? You want to discuss that in tomorrow's class?
7:14.
7:14?
Namam dushkritino mudha prapadayante naradhama. That is not very gentle, but
yeah. We need a gentle words. Yeah. Somebody's suffering without telling them that, this is what your karma. You're suffering because of your karma, right? That's not the thing that we tell them, right?
But Mataji, I try to. Usually, we always start with everyone is suffering. I mean, but why? I mean, I just try to say if we know the reasoning behind that, that's what it helps. And
yes, doesn't it help a lot, right?
Yes.
to know that I'm not the only one who's suffering. He's also suffering, she's also suffering. It makes us feel bad. Why? Because we are para dukha sukhi.
Para dukha sukhi.
Yeah. Whenever somebody else is suffering, we feel a little good, right? Oh, that person's car got bashed.
But so but at least I just gave them something to one of my colleague yesterday about this attachment, how about what we discussed, right? Anger or whatever, anything we have, we roll it back to from attachment to objects to lust to anger, and then miseries, you fall into the material pool. I mean, the simple example I usually try is everyone is happy. There is no one who is completely happy. I mean, in the material life. So how do we get out of it and just accept that part? And how do we live with it? And then with Krishna, like focusing towards Krishna, who is transcend. I mean, eternal. We can at least try to. That's how I Okay.
Yes. So good. So what? So a couple of things that came from your conversation here was that that one is that everybody is suffering, right? So which is kind of good. That it's a good thing to know that you're not the isolated one, right? And so Krishna says that in Bhagavad Gita 8:15, he says dukhalayam ashashvatam, right? So that this is a bad place. So first of all, you tell them everybody is suffering. You're not the only one. People just suffer in different ways. Sometimes you don't know. Some people have physical suffering. You can see some people have mental suffering, which is even worse, right? So one is that everybody's suffering. The Shastras are going to tell that, right? But then the thing is that, okay, then the next thing they will ask is that, okay, now I have realized I am here in this material tabernacle, which was a term that was used. Then the question is that, how do I get out of that, right? And if you tell them that, what's that verse from Bhagavad Gita? Kaumaram yauvanam jara tatha dehantar praptir dihartus namuhyati.
Dehino asmin.
Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumaram yauvanam jaha. Right? So some people are afraid of death, and somebody died and because of all that, or murdered and things like that. So we have to gently also tell them that this is something that is happening throughout our life. We are dying throughout our life because our body changes constantly. So we're constantly moving, and some of the movement is visible in the sense that we move from kaumaram yauvanam jara, right? From youth to adulthood to old age. We do that, right? So those are things that we can see and perceive, and we can understand that this is what is happening. And then the question is that, so is there a place where there is no unhappiness, right? So then we can tell them, right, that from Yadgatvana Nivartante Tadhama Paramamama. So from 15th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where he says that, you can go to a place from where you will never come back again, right? Like that. And of course, then it'll be, how do I go there? So then the last verse, which is Varsana Mataji's favorite, can come, which is Manmana Bhava Mad Bhakto Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru. So you pray to me. And then obviously, because we have been cheated by so many people, we will get to know that not get to know, but when somebody comes and tells us that, okay, now you do this, but the question was, I've been cheated so many times, and Krishna, he'll do that. So then 18.66 is the climax, right? He says, Sarv Dharman Parityajya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So he's saying, abandon all varieties of religion, just surrender unto me. And then comes the reassurance part, right? What is it? Aham Tvam Sarva Pape Bhyo Mokshishyami Ma Suchaha. So he's saying that I will deliver you from all the sinful reactions. And the miseries that we get in our lives are because of the sins that we have committed. So straight from Bhagavad Gita, you can pick up a few verses like that there. And then of course, there's Bhagavatam that they should read and contact
Hare Krishna. Sorry,
Hare
ma'am.
Krishna. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So I was thinking of this verse, and I don't remember the Sanskrit, but it says something like this, that a devotee is not really bound by the reactions of the karma. It is just that what is good for him, Krishna gives him, so that the last vestiges of attachment gets removed, so that it can expedite his returning back, just like what happened to Vritasura.
Yes.
So
Yes. That is from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, chapter number 8 is the chapter number 8, and I think this is verse number 4. The verse I'm trying to quote is Tattenu Kampam Sushamikshamano Bhunjanamivatmakritam Vipakam Hidvagvapubhir Vidadan Namaste Jive Taso Mukti Pade Sadaya Bhag. So although the verse is just saying that whenever distresses come to a particular person, he just says that I deserve worse, and you have reduced my sentence. And then even in that condition, he will praise the Lord with his body, mind, and intelligence or words. And the verse says that such a person is eligible for liberation. The verse says that, but in the purport, the beautiful purports that Prabhupada has, there he gives the answer to the question. And again, a very nice citation, Preeti Radhika, because when a person is miserable, he will ask that, but I am a good person. Why do bad things happen to good people? And it happens all the time, right, in this material world. And so there, it could be, number one, it could be that, yes, you are good, you're doing good, but you had a record of some bad karma from your previous life, which is coming and affecting you. One. And the second is that sometimes, as you said, there are some, Prabhupada uses the word, there are some vestiges of attachment that are still left in you. And for that, to get rid and get over of that attachment, for example, one could be very attached to the children, and then suddenly the child will get so against you, so much against you, that you like, it's not even worth being attached to this child, I give up, then you get detached. So the last vestige, and then anybody looking at that might say, oh, they were such good parents, they brought the child so very nicely, and look at the child now, he's fighting for the property and things like that, right? He took his father, dragged the father to the court, and saying that he doesn't know how to run the business should be turned over to my name, and trying to prove that the father is not mentally capable of running a business. All these kinds of things have happened, right? We see them every now and then. And so what's going to happen to a father if the son drags the father to the court, right? The attachment will go away. So on the face of it, we might just see that, oh, this world is very cruel. But if you look at the end result, this person is becoming eligible for liberation, because what really ties you to this material world is our attachment. These are the two weaknesses of the heart. In the 15th chapter, last verse, Prabhupada talks about that again in the purport. The two weaknesses of the human are enjoying the matter and possessing it. Enjoying it and possessing it. So one, for example, enjoying it, like my neighbor goes and buys the best model of the car. Right? At one point in time, I had just Googled to see which is the best model of the car. I think it was some French car of $3.1 million or something. I don't remember the cost, but the name of the car was Poison. So you can imagine, you make such a nice, beautiful car and you call it Poison. Because why? And the intention was that it's going to make others poisonous with envy when you own this. Even in the advertisements that used to get of Onida television, what did it say for Onida television? It's a very famous line.
Owner's pride and neighbor's envy.
Yeah, neighbor's envy, owner's pride, right? So the envy kind of a thing is there. So one is that, okay, if my neighbor buys such a car, then he might take me for a ride. Like you want to show off. You want to show off whatever you have purchased. Let's say they'll come knock, show you the car, say, hey, you want to come on a ride? And you like it and you're friendly, you're enjoying it. You're enjoying the matter. And after some time, what's going to happen after 16 rides in that car? You want a poison of your own. You want a car of your own. So then you want to possess matter. This is how it goes. And then when you try to possess matter, man, say that?
I was just saying that you will want poison.
Yes. And then what does Bhagavad Gita tell you when it talks about goodness, passion, and ignorance? That what appears to be sweet in the beginning, right? Nectar in the beginning, and it becomes poison in the end, right? What appears to be poison in the beginning is very difficult to do, and is actually nectar in the end is what you should be doing, like that. So these are the two weaknesses of heart that we have. Yeah. So we can also tell them that it's a weakness. Any other reflections on karma? Actually, the chapter after this is also on karma. And understandably, karma is so intricate, right? Gahana. Karmana is Gehen, very deep, complicated. Gehen andhikar hai, right? They say, right? It's very dark, very thick. Intricacies are thickly woven like that. So what are you going to do to get rid of the karmic reactions?
Pray to Krishna and do devotional service.
Yeah, pray to Krishna and do devotional service. Just the Indragopam Mathavendra Ahosa Karma. Right from the insect called Indragopa all the way up to Indra, who's the king of the heavens. Everybody is bound by the actions of karma and the actions of karma. Like that. But only devotional service will get rid of all the karma. So that's a good promise. That's a good thing, right? That's a good thing to know. That you don't have to wait for the president to give you clemency. And how much clemency can he give? Only for this lifetime, only for one bad thing that we did. But we have a nice little bag of karma. Yeah,
But Krishna gives clemency forever, right?
yeah, right.
Going to the right source.
Go to the right person. Yes, go to the right person. Yeah. Okay. So should we call it a day? It's close to 8 o'clock right now. We started at 6. And you have to get up in the morning tomorrow to come and attend the class, right? Right. Okay, so then if there are no more reflections, we will call it a day here. Vancha kalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. Thank you so much here for joining us on Facebook as well as Zoom. If you can unmute yourself on Zoom and give us a big Haribol.
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 Haribol. Thank you so much for joining despite your busy schedule. Haribol. कौन बोला? कौन हरी बोला? हाँ? फिर से बोलो.
Haribol.
Arjun, Haribol.
Haribol.
Wow, look at that. He's
Who
Arjun.
was that?
He's Arjun, Garima's son.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened. Why we are not able to see him, I don't know. Garima dropped off.
He
I think.
probably dropped off.
Yeah, she dropped off. Yeah, they said Haribols. All righty. Okay. So have a fantastic rest of the day, and we will talk again in a few hours. What a nice way to
That's the best part.
yeah, I'm just saying, what a nice way to spend this Corona confinement.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, like that. I was talking to one of my god sisters, and in her office they were they had set up a meeting for all the employees to come on a Zoom call and just talk about life. There were no meeting, no agenda, like no goals or no like that kind of agenda. And so people were just talking about how they're spending their time. And she said, I was very surprised that people are miserable, they are frustrated, they are angry, they're afraid and bored. And she was saying that I was very surprised because she said I'm enjoying it this confinement, and then she also said that they were all telling that what do I do, and they were saying I don't know what to do because the bars are closed. I don't know what to do. This is closed, that is closed. Can't go here, can't go there. And then she said, well, I told them that I get up early in the morning and I go out for a walk, and I prefer to go really early in the morning to see the sunrise as well as the moon setting at the same time because it is full moon these days. They were like, wow, like that. So people really need help. People really need to be told that this is temporary. This is Mars Prashastu Kanteya. It'll go away like seasons. It's not going to stay forever. And that there is something much beyond what you have right now, much beyond your offices, much beyond your bank balances, which you will carry into your next life, right? If the corona comes at us and we are scared of the coronavirus, the reason is that I'll have to give up every material possession that I have over here. But what will get carried over to the next place is my devotional service, which never gets, exhausted.
If a human being was sure that he will carry the bank balance, he will never share it with his children. He will never give it to
Yes, never share it with his children. Yeah, never share it with his children. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Ma, I was also thinking that you had mentioned that in Zoom, some employee or owner or board member, he said on social media that what do these Hare Krishnas talk about for 3-4 hours? And Giraj Maharaj was on a call, and I quoted that, like there was something other I was telling, and then like even devotees, when they're actually in miserable situation, they don't feel the misery as bad because they know Krishna Katha soothes any misery. So that's when and he burst out laughing. It was such a pleasure to see him enjoy that quote that I quoted.
There you made your Guru Maharaj laugh. Yeah, you get some credits there. Yeah, yeah. And also when people see, what happens is that my internet had gone bad, and so I was trying my Comcast, the internet folks, and I was in Xfinity now. So I was holding on the phone for the longest time. And so there was their music that was playing. And I was like, "Oh, what music is that?" Because we are so used to listening to Hare Krishna tunes and things like that. So it was such a jarring contrast. And so another thing that when if you come across people who are suffering and they are not yet ready to listen to any of the spiritual talk that we have, you can just give them these tunes, that why don't you listen to this tune? Give them the flute, playing of the flute, or a very soothing Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Give them that. I can't sleep in the night. Try listening to this before you go to sleep, and the mantra will have its effect. Like that. So,
Yesterday, I was talking to one of my friend, and then I gave the example of mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance, and correlated with the cap seller story. So I liked it
yes.
so much that, and I was like, this is what Bhagavad Gita teaches us, how to be in a mode of goodness and trying to identify the right solution, which
Yes.
will solve your problems, right?
Right. Right. That person is a candidate to receive a Bhagavad Gita.
She has Bhagavad Gita. I had already given her.
Okay, good. Yeah, now she should read now.
Yeah.
She should come to the 6:30 class.
Yeah, I was telling her that we read every day in the morning. Right now, she's in like little bit of distress because her parents were in the Alibag and she couldn't talk to her since the storm has come. So she was worried about that. And I was telling her that you can still send them a message that you are good over there and I'm also good. Whenever it's a good time, you will be able to talk. So that was like a good thing.
Yeah, yeah. And they can always send mental vibes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, how
that's
do
what
we
I was
talk to Krishna? He's miles and miles and miles away.
yeah.
Of course, he's in the heart, but yeah. We are after the Krishna who's in Golok Vrindavan, like that. Okay. All right. Then today, now we should really call it a day, I think, right? One more time. Vanchakalpatrubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari. Okay, now I'm going to really switch it up. Hare Krishna. Khyati, you got the email from Guru Maharaj?
Yes, I